What is up, everyone? It is Toga Reviews, and we're back for another poorly lighted video. Today we're reviewing Kamen Saber Episode 2, and I'm just gonna go ahead and first off say it was definitely better than the first one. Especially with the chemistry between the three characters in this episode, Mei, Toma, and Ritaru. I think is Blade's name. I might mess that up. My bad. But the chemistry between these three, the entire episode, was awesome. Especially whenever Blades was fighting, and May. It's funny because the main character Toma, I like him so much because he kind of acts like he's not a writer. He kind of acts like he's just a normal civilian because he's still not totally used to, being one of these writers or the sort of Logos members. And so whenever he saw Blades, and there's even more poorly lighting. Okay, more lighting. And even when Blades was fighting, Toma was freaking out because of just how cool he thought it was, even though he could do pretty much the exact same thing now. Um, but this episode was mainly just kind of focusing on Blades showing kind of the showing Toma around the sort of Logos headquarters in the North Pole. Um, Showing him around, he showed who the protector was, who kind of watches over that section. I forgot her name, but she goes over that section, and just shows that. And also, one key point that was in the episode was he mentioned a saying of words, and it opened this book, which gave him the power of Diego Speedy, which is his bike. Um, I thought that was cool. So, obviously, those words were said by the previous Saber to unlock that. So, another keyword, he might be related to the original Saber. Um, but this showed pretty cool. Toma was exceptionally great this episode. He actually transformed into his first Wonder Ride form, Brave Dragon and Jack the Beanstalk form, which was pretty sick. I did because it didn't show it in any of the images. I was not expecting it to be in this episode, but he got a total of 2 ride books. Was Jack the Beanstalk and Peter Fantasia, which is going to be featured in next week's episode, as well as Kamen Rider Buster, which we will talk about in the review, how that turns out next week. So besides that, what else? Caliber also said, even though they lost, he said, no matter what, this is accelerating my plan. So he's obviously has some type of trick up his sleeve for the future. And also, we got introduced at the end of this episode to Kamen Rider Espada, the third rider who uses electricity as his element of power, which he seems to know who Toma is. And then Toma replies, who are these people? Because he's still very surprised about all of this. To be honestly, this is probably one of my favorite reactions I've ever seen as a Kamen Rider, because most of the time they kind of don the power of like, oh, okay, yeah, they automatically kind of kick into it. But this, he kind of has to get used to it, as any normal person would really have to get used to being called a hero who's gonna save the world, the future of the world. And I honestly really like that, and that's why I really like Ghost, because it was kind of like how Ghost died, and he came as Rider, and he was like, what? And he didn't get used to it for a bit, but he still understands the point of having to save everyone. Same with Saber, Toma. Even though this is all crazy start, he still believes he has to save everyone, which is why he is portraying the Rider still, and he didn't give up his powers to Blades, which Blades was trying to give him back because Homo sapiens or humans aren't supposed to have it. But maybe either he's a human who's passed down the power, or he is part of the Wonder World. But who knows? We still haven't figured it out. It's only episode 2. But I gave last episode an 8. I'm going to give this one a straight 10 out of 10, which I thought it was a great episode. Small little thing was still, I don't like them using a bunch of CGI, but it was a little more interesting this time, because they were riding on bikes, and it was pretty interesting. So yeah. So guys, that is it for this week's Rider review. Please leave a like and comment in the comment section below what you thought about this episode. If you have any questions, let me know. Please turn on post notifications, subscribe, and everyone have a blessed and safe day.